y'all doing? I'm just in my house cleaning. Like, I'm in a good mood today, and I'm just to the point where I'm like, come on. I'm ready to live my own life, the life of my dreams. Tired of consuming everybody else's dreams to reality. I'm going to sit here today, and we're going to start all over. I'm going to start all over. I'm probably going to cry today. I want to cry. Not because I'm hurting, but because I'm just ready. I'm ready to live the life of my dreams. And I know the energy is strong right now from this 5-5 portal. But we got to do something. So I'm just going to... I share so much of cleaning someone else's house to the point where I'm just like, let me just get in here and clean my own. And I know I'm not the only one that feels like, we mind so many people, other people's businesses. Literally, we go to jobs, we mind their business, but we never put ourselves first. And I'm just at a point where I've been doing some engagement. Like I told y'all, I've been over there on TikTok, everybody else's face. And sometimes I feel like, is it worth it? Am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go back over to YouTube. Start making some more videos over here. And I know somebody else has to be filming it, Especially for me, because other platforms are so, they're, it's it's a faster up pace over there. And YouTube is a smaller platform, so I'm thinking like, you know what? I just need to go back over here, turn on my camera, and do something for myself. Mind my own business. Because I feel like for the last couple of weeks, when I look at my analytics, I was going up. My numbers were going up, where my views were going up, and my subscribers. So I said, let me get back to the business that I need to mind, right? And that's where I'm at. We consume other people's energy all day and forget to show up and go live for ourselves, to run our channels. And over there it's more about tapping in and helping somebody else, which I know you build teams over there, but we got a community over here, and I need to remember that the fast way is not always the best for me. So I'm like, you know what, let me just turn on the camera, clean my house, clean my energy. I did do some work the other day with cleaning up my office. It looks a mess right now. My little corner, my little space. So that's where I'm at, guys. I just needed to come back and do something for myself. I don't want to go over to TikTok and get in their world and forget that this is where I started my live streaming at. This is where I started making videos at, over here on YouTube. So I got to stay focused with YouTube. And I can see that. Even though it's taken a while, but everything happens for a reason. And everything's going to happen in the right season. And I need to stay focused of, YouTube. I need to mind. This is my business. This is my mind. So I'm going to start back today with thinking in ink. write my goals back down, and that's what I'm doing today. I'm gonna, clean up my space. I do have to go out and do a few things for somebody else, but I need to stay focused on the mission at hand. The mission at hand started with YouTube, so I gotta, come back and regroup myself. And it's okay for me to say I got off course, right? I got off course with not showing up on YouTube and just over there tapping. But I like engagement. I love engagement, right? Because sometimes over here on YouTube, it just feels like I'm by myself, right? I'm by myself, and it's like I'm always alone, even though they say you're not always alone. So that's where I'm at. I said, you know what? Let me start back doing my morning videos on YouTube. Let me come back to YouTube and make content. Because I spend, even though I've been putting videos on TikTok, and I like the TikTok shop, I like all of that. I want to get in the creators program. But right now, I'm already in this creators program. So I'm just trying to find balance in all things, trying to make it make sense. And the only way I can make it make sense is if I go back to minding my business. I go back to showing up for myself, where I thank you for making the comment. I thank you for the engagement. It means so much to me. I'm just in my tiny house, y'all, trying to get my house right before I step out today. I'm gonna take these vitamins. So that's where I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to get back to making it make sense. Because I can promise you, being on TikTok, making videos, and tapping the screen all day, it can be very programming. But don't get me wrong. I have some falls. I got me a t-shirt, a black t-shirt. I'm gonna take that heat press out, and I'm gonna put. It's kind of big, but I'm gonna put some stuff up there. I might just do dream and truth, aspire, and put my little put my YouTube handle on it. How you doing? Put my YouTube handle on it, because I see like a lot of van lifers. They have their t-shirts on when they go in. So let's go into these events and get, I guess it gets some followers. I gotta just step up my game. I gotta step up my game. The time is now, and I gotta do it for myself. Because I'm never gonna get my tiny house. I'm never gonna get my acre and a mule in the country, in my cabin. That's my picture. Your picture is not anybody else's picture, right? So once we begin to learn that the subconscious of the mind is real and you can create, if you can just let go of the limited beliefs that you picked up, some nightmares and daydreams, some daymares. I think I had a daymare today. That's what I had. I didn't have a nightmare. I had a daymare. Like, baby, are you going to do something for yourself? Are you going to create this? Or, are you going to find balance in, all the platforms? Or are you just going to sit there and tap into everybody else's platform? Like, I don't know. It was literally a daymare. I was sitting over there and I was just tapping the screen, and I'm like, what am I doing? Let me go to YouTube and work on building my channel. Which I like. I like the other platforms because you can actually get monetized faster. with, doing the engagements. But sometimes I just feel like I need a I need to refocus. I need to learn what to focus on and what to ignore. Right? Or I got it. I need to balance on what I'm focusing on and what I'm ignoring. Right? That's what it is. So that was the daymare that I'm having. Like, okay, what's going on? And I know I'm up here in my pajamas and they're old, but guess what? It is what it is right now. And every time I clean somebody else's house, because that's what I do, I clean houses. Every time I clean somebody else's house, I have to get in the energy of cleaning my own house. Like my house is not dirty, but it's a tiny house. And when you live in a tiny house, you constantly have to clean your space. Make sure that it stays clean. What is that? Like the cleanliness next to godliness, right? But I am over there on TikTok trying to get in the TikTok creators platform and the TikTok shop. I'm trying to get in the TikTok shop, so I've been buying pots and everything, buying products, investing in products that once I build, I can promote the products, find another stream of income. That's what it's all about to me, is several streams of income. I don't want to just do one thing. So I've been over there and I've been buying the pots. So trying to find products to promote and get more comfortable with creating videos on both platforms so I can find balance into my business. So that's where I'm at. And it seems like to me, cleaning just relieves and makes it make sense. I can make it make sense when I'm cleaning. So that's what it makes it make sense when you know you're doing something for yourself. Not just consuming, but finding balance in being the consumer and the consuming. What is it? The consumer and the consumee? I don't know. I'm just rattling, guys. But I know I was feeling it today. I was like, you know what? Girl, I don't care if you don't have clothes on. You're not made up. Like, it's really, everybody's going through something. So, it's like, turn on the camera. They turned on their camera. Like, everybody's turning on their camera. So, I had to cut on my camera. I just don't want to get lost in the sauce of what's really going on. So, but yeah, I ordered these pots off TikTok. I said I'm gonna go make some videos today. I'm using them like they're good pots. Make some videos today and get in somebody else's energy so I can get in the algorithm of, I want to make money. It's not that we don't want to work jobs. That's not it. But we want to work now smart. Like everybody's not out here doing the heavy labor. I already did all the heavy labor. I forgot to put the phone on. did a lot of heavy labor when we didn't know any better. But when you know better, you got to do better, right? So I literally feel like right now it's time, and for whatever reason, such a time as this, it's heavy. It's real heavy on making it make sense. And I don't know about nobody else, but I changed my water a lot. I changed my water a lot. But we're really at a time where it's like, you want something different. You can see it, you can feel it, but you just haven't grabbed it yet, right? So that's what the whole self-mastery is. Like, it's small to somebody else. That's why they say when you doing something for yourself, don't tell anybody, right? Move in silence, right? And when you move in silence and you realize that, this is what I've realized. I realized that it's going to be strangers, right? It's going to be people from all over the world that you don't know. It's not going to be family, and it's not going to be friends, right? By design. By design, it's going to work out that way. By design, you're going to be in your own space mentally that, okay, I got to show up. So I'm the zero. So just say, hypothetically, the zero is on the camera, right? The zero is on the camera. That means it's you. It's just you talking to you, right? It's kind of like I wrote it down the other day. It's kind of like the Michael Jackson song. I'm starting with the man in the mirror, because if the man in the mirror, okay, so when I look at the screen, I only see myself. I don't see anyone else. If you don't engage, I don't never know you're here. I don't never know that you receive the message, right? So for me to say, I'm just the messenger. The time is now for you to show up for you, right? The time is now for you to make yourself seen. The time is now for you to stop having excuses like, oh, my hair is not right. I don't have on the right clothes, or I don't have the right clothes, because it clearly says start where you're at. So if starting where you're at, just say, I got this one piece of paper right here, right? Because I pulled out one of my notebooks today because I needed a reminder of what's going on, right? So I pulled out my notebook, and it's green, so this is from my heart, right? I didn't plan it like this. Everything happens for a reason if you just pay attention, right? So I started this in 2020, right? I started it in 2020 when I left my job, working in the office with seasonal people, and I was just like, what, this just is not working. And I started to see everybody get sick, right? It was around that time, so I left and I started all over, right? And when I started Dreaming Truth LLC, I didn't have no idea. I thought it was going to be about sales of products, right? So here it is, 5 years later, and I come to realize that I was the product all along, right? So it wasn't really about us having a physical product or where we're at. Where you're at is where you're supposed to be. Where you're at is who you are, right? And because you are the vessel, then you can change that where you're at any given time. And it says that scientifically, right? Even if you never heard it and today is the first time that you're hearing it, it's like the car does not drive if you don't put the key in the ignition and crank it up and mash together. All of those sequences that they matter, right? All of the steps that it takes for you to pull off. So sometimes we're doing things and we think that we're not moving, right? But when you learn science, it says energy is not created nor destroyed, so it's a frequency, so it's always moving. Like even in if you study the brain, it says the brain, even when you go to sleep, your brain doesn't go to sleep, it's still working, right? So that means we're still working even though you don't know that you're working. You matter even if you think you don't matter, because you're here in this realm, so you have a purpose to be here. Because if you didn't have a purpose to be here, then you wouldn't have woke up this morning, right? You wouldn't have rose. Like the song, this morning when I rose, I didn't have no doubt, because I made it in this realm, right? And because I made it in this realm, I have another purpose that I'm supposed to do today. I have another mission. I have another assignment, right? So the mental alchemy of thinking that you don't matter, the mental alchemy of the person who wrote Are You Married, which was a different one person, and then the one that said hi, how, and how, like that engagement meant you matter. You not only did you come into the house, into my room, which you in my house, right? Not only did you come into my house, but you don't walk into someone's house and not speak, right? So that's something you're taught when you're like, it makes no sense. Somebody's gonna think you're crazy if you walk in their house and you don't say nothing, right? Like, you walk in this house and you ain't gonna say hi? Like, it don't make sense. So a lot of stuff that we do, that we learned when we was a child, you got to take what resonates and leave the rest. Like some stuff they taught us that when we were children, it now as an adult that you get to make your own choice because you're grown and you found growth in your tree, then you know that okay, that works for me and that does not work. So that would be in alignment with the discernment, right? So the discernment now is I now have a choice. I am a choice, right? I think that's a good affirmation. I think I am choice. I am choice. I am the choice to be the pilot, the driver, right? It's like God saying, or whatever you call it. You know, everybody don't call it God. It's source, higher power, the most high. It's still a higher frequency, right? It's not low vibrational. So when you say, I am the choice, because it says I am, right? So if I am the choice, if that's my affirmation, then I got to show up for me. I got to turn my camera on and I got to put out the content, right? So if I can make it a ritual, and I've been making it a ritual, don't get me wrong, but I've been everywhere. I've been trying to do TikTok. I've been trying to go over on Facebook, keep myself relevant over there. I've been trying to show up for YouTube, and all the numbers are going up, right? Because numbers matter. If you could just see that you are one number, one vessel that's collectively connecting with other like-minded people, your circle of influence, right? Because really, I'm just over here in my kitchen minding my business, babbling over here in Babylon. And my fate is that someone will come in and click, and that someone will subscribe. But I got to be in the right alignment to even have the energy to go live, without the limits of what I'm doing. I love these TikTok pops. So that's where I'm at with it. If you wherever you at, decide that you want to take your business, right? Mind your business, which you are the mind, you are your business, to the next level. You got to use the tools that's available for you, right? So if we live in a world where it's a digital market, then what's your digit, right? So, like, say you get ready to do, okay, I got this. Say you about to do an application, right? Or say you're doing an application. Yeah, they want your name, but they want your numbers. You can't even work for a company if you don't have the proper numbers, documentation to be accepted for that job, right? So, if you don't have the numbers to be accepted for that job, you can't get a paycheck. So now we learning that, it's time to prioritize. It's time to prioritize. And what I do every day is get the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of how to activate my numbers, right? And this is where people come in, right? People matter, right? People matter. Everyone matters, right? So just say 0 is you, and then you got one person. So if you got one person, they say when 2 or more come together, you can move mountains, right? When 2 or more come together, right? So in order for 2 or more to come together, you got to be the 0, and they got to be the 1, right? So you always gonna have to be in your wholeness energy, your oneness energy, to show up as who you are, where I'm at is who I am. I'm not. I'm wonderful in you. Where I'm at is who I am, and you'll never get to share who I am if I don't turn on the camera. So that's the same scenario of what's the metaphor? My name will be in rooms that I'm not in, right? Physical rooms that I'm not in. So when you know that your name will be in rooms that you're not in, it's because you put your name, you put yourself in that energy. Thanks for the like. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, what do I have right here? I need to prioritize my teaching, my spirituality. I need to know that I had to write down my goals and my dreams and my aspires, right? My aspirations to get somebody to tap into my energy, right? And it's easy to get somebody to tap into your energy if you just got your camera on, right? And it does not matter because you over here minding your business, but Sharon is caring, right? So if Sharon is caring, I have to cut on the camera and I have to be in the room, right? So thinking ink is I have to write things down as they come to me. So what are some, it's journaling, right? So when you are journaling, you writing, you thinking in ink, you talking to your most high source in ink, right? So that's why you hear everybody say journal, 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 right? The journal is once you write it down. Okay, so these notes were wrote down in 2022, right? Prioritize myself, thinking ink, feeling subconscious, give myself permission to love, feel healthy and wise, right? So these were things that I wrote back then. But now in the energy that we in, I have to go back and go in my journal and see, well, how far have I come since I wrote those notes? How many people have I connected to? How many how many times have I been in somebody else's house, right? And what am I doing to put myself in that energy, right? So I accepted to let go of fear and celebrate myself. So me celebrating myself is me cutting on this camera. Me celebrating myself is we've got the whole world in our hand with technology, right? We've got this. You've got this. You have the technology. You have the device in your hand, and you get to discern whether I want to watch somebody else or whether I want to record myself wherever I'm at, with whatever hairstyle I have, with whatever clothing I have on, because you are not your hair and you are not your clothes. You are your energy. And once you discern that I want to not just consume, but I want to give. I don't just want to receive, but I want to give a message. I want to give my space to someone else to say, if I can do it, you can do it. Whether that's it's a mindset. The mind is the all, the universe, you inverse. Like right now, I'm in verse. It's like a holiday. Every day is a holiday that I could come on this camera and turn on and record wherever I'm at. I don't have to be in somebody else's house cleaning up. Now I'm in my own tiny house, right? So me turning on this camera every day like it's a holiday is going to get me to my acre and my mule. Me turning on this camera is going to get me my cabin in the woods, right? So clap for yourself, right? Clap for yourself, right? Turn on your camera and clap to yourself. If you do have a channel, you can always put your channel in the comment section. But it's the scenario of I am the blueprint, right? I am the imagination, I am the focus, I am the plan, I am the 1%, right? And my 1% changes every day that I rise, right? So that's my expression, that's my love. Like I made it here. I have several ways that I can come and show up to myself, because this is in the beginning, it's just for me. The whole thing, the first words of YouTube is you, right? You are the tube. So if I don't put out the content, if I don't give y'all the energy, then I am not in tune. I am not in tune with what I'm supposed to do. So, what is God power? God's power, whether you call it God, Yeshua, the Most High, whatever name, whatever title, right? Because we as individuals have different names. We all, you have a first name, you have a middle name, you have a last name, but you got to understand you also have numbers attached to your name. And your name matters and your numbers matter. But you would have to tap into numerology to overstand that your name and your number together is a whole nother life path, right? So when you get alignment with numerology and knowing that nobody can say that they don't matter, you matter. That's why you have that's why you even in this realm, right? So the divinity code is within you, right? The the flower of life, your fingerprint, that's your God, right? You're connecting to God is within me and I radiate good. So if God is within me, then I should be radiating good, right? You should feel good about wherever you woke up at this morning, whatever you have to have for breakfast, whatever, everything is just there, right? It just is. And there's no resistance to what just is. Even if some people in their mindset starts to say, well, I don't want that. Like it says, bless everything that you have. So if you didn't want the bowl of rice that you were able to eat this morning and that was all you had in your covers, right? Guess what? There's no such thing. You're gonna be grateful for what you have in that moment that's tangible, something that you can see, smell, touch, or taste. not in the invisible world, but this is what I got in this physical world right now. And if I don't show what I have in this physical world, gratitude, then more of it can come to me. So, because you are here, you your flower of life today. It's May. Be your flower. May flowers. So April showers. If you cried last month, because your tears matter, right? So what did I have? This was the first thing that kind of brought me on over here today. And I don't have this right here. It says water is the mind. It says the water in your body can make you sick or well. Use your tears, right? So the water in your body, if you don't cry them out and you just let them be there full, like your tear ducts are just full, then you have not released the toxins that you need to release because you feel like I need to cry, right? And they told you not to cry, but you know crying relieves, it makes you feel good, right? So your tears can make you sick because now you just full of it. You just full, like your temple is so full of water, right? Even if you're going to pee them out, that's from the bottom. You can cry them out. See you today, 2 days ago. You sent me 2 days ago or three. Okay, welcome back. Welcome back. So it says that crying is another form of bleeding. I'm not even sure because I don't have a date on this, but it's from 2022. So crying is a form of bleeding. So just say hypothetically, you hear about the blood of, what is it? The blood of Jesus, the blood of whatever that saying is. I can't think right now. But you knew that it was releasing. When you think about somebody bleeding, you think about somebody releasing, right? And that's what a lot of people are trying to find right now, a way to release. I will see you. I will see your stream later. Now I'm going. Okay, okay. Have fun. Live your best life. I'm just up here just babbling. But have fun. Enjoy your friends. Get out the house, get some fresh air, hug a tree, take your shoes off, walk in the grass if you're not in a cold area because I don't ground much when it's cold. But when it's not cold, okay. Have a good one. But yes, so once you realize that you're the blueprint, you have to cry to water your flowers. So back to you have to cry to water your flowers. So because I garden, I am always putting seeds in the ground, right? Or putting seeds in a pot. But if I don't water those seeds, what's going to happen? It's going to dry out. The soil is going to be just crunchy and old leaves and old products from last year, right? So I have to go get those bags that sat around all winter and got frozen and crunchy and all of that. I have to do that. I have to go get that and I have to put back some moisture, right? Some water into the that soil, right? So just think of that as you coming out of winter into spring, your new year, right? And whatever you watered in April is now blooming in May. Like the trees are beginning to fill in. That's how you got to be. You got to be just like that tree that rain was hitting in April when that rain was coming down, right? So you got to be the tree. You got to be the plant, right? You got to be the soul. So crying, letting those tear ducts out, cleaning out those tear ducts to get to the May flowers is necessary. So some of us are going to cry. The energy is heavy right now, so you need to cry so you can water your flowers. Anybody that needs a release, I almost say like like do like Hollywood do. Get an onion. If you feel like, oh, I'm just too strong to cry and everything's too heavy, get an onion and make some water come out of those eyes. Release some toxins in your body, right? Find a way to release it. Listen to a song that you used to listen to when you were young. Find a song that makes you cry. Like I feel like everybody needs to cry like in this energy right now. So their flowers can bloom in May. May flowers, right? So water your flowers. Um what else? So some of these are, oh, okay. So imagination, right? So it's still in the same thing as water your flowers, because when it's raining, you get to see that rainbow, right? You never see the rainbow unless it's raining. So when you see the rainbow, okay, so say after you cry, you find whatever that you can dig up in you to make you cry so you can see your rainbow, right? And then you start working with color magic, right? You start trying to implement colors in your everyday life, right? So just say if someone was to take your teardrop and put it under a microscope, right? That microscope, they would see colors. They would see cells moving around, because it's just like the blood, right? Like I said, take the old teachings of the blood and use them as, there is no blood without water, because if you don't drink water, your blood gonna dry up, right? So imagine yourself crying and just taking the water and putting it up under a microscope and giving it the rainbow effect, right? So find your colors in the rainbow that work with your higher chakras, right? Your higher um um yeah, your higher chakras. So the fifth chakra is your throat. So that goes back to me saying why you should turn on the camera and get used to using your throat chakra, because every time you use your voice, it breaks the what is it called? Every time you use your voice, it activates your superpowers, right? So your voice is activating. When they say the tongue has power, that's what they mean. Using your voice has power. So just try cutting on the camera. Even if you don't want to do it on YouTube, just start cutting on your camera and just using your voice. And then a lot of things start to disappear, right? So it says the hormones, chemicals connect the glands. Your throat chakra connects the glands. Okay, so your, let's see, a grain of rice. Okay, so the pineal gland, and we know that the pineal gland now is the pine cone. So maybe I'll go get a pine cone today. Maybe I'll go outside and get a couple of pine cones and really look at it. It's the first eye, a grain of rice. It can detect energy and light waves beyond our visual. The peak of the brain, Pinocchio syndrome. And I had to go back and watch Pinocchio. The Jimmy the Cricket. Um, when you watch Pinocchio and that Jimmy the Cricket was inside his chest, right? That was to me like the mind, the heart and the mind are as one. That's what I got. So I'm just gonna go back today and go back and look at some of the what I have written down in ink, right? So between my journals and my notes from lectures that I've taken since 2022. I'm going to go back and I'm going to read and I'm going to vision where I was then when I wrote the journal, whether it was 2020, 2022, if it was network marketing, whatever it was. I'm going to go back through my journals, and I can even go back in my journals and see my handwriting change, right? If I go back and listen to my old videos, my voice is different. So all those things are showing you that you're not stuck. Sometimes your mind plays tricks on you. That was in a song. Somebody might need to go listen to your mind play tricks on you. Um, but go back and look and at some of the things that you wrote in ink and see where you're at now and what you've sinned at, right? So sin means to misfire, right? So that's why you have the repentance. Like that's really what they're not going to teach you that, but that's what sin means. You got to go look at the dictionary. And I don't want to misfire in life. I don't want to miss my dreams because I'm listening to my old belief system, because nothing I do now is traditional. Like no work is traditional. I'm not punching the clock. I'm trying to create. I'm in my creator energy. Even if my creator energy does not look the same as anybody else's, I'm doing it by my design. My way is not their highway. My way is my highway because I'm my blueprint. I only got my fingerprint. I don't have anybody else's fingerprint. So I'm not going to say nor do things the way that everybody else does them. Who I'm for is who I'm for, right? So that's the attitude that you got to take control of. You got to take control of, I'm grown now. Like it's like when you was in, say you was in driver's ed, you was a teenager, you was in driver's ed, and you had to have an adult beside you so you can drive on the highway, right? To get where you wanted to go. But also you needed practice, right? So you needed somebody there to help you practice. Like you needed your parents there to help you through the 0 days to 18 years, right? Or just say school years. And some people they get, what is it, emancipated at 16, so they take control of their own life at 16. They get the proper documents and they go and they can get them a proper apartment with their proper documents, right? But it's almost like there's something inside of us, like a defense mechanism that always makes us think that we need somebody else to show us the way. When we were young, it was our parents. And then we went to school, it was the teacher. And then you went to college, it was the professor, right? And now that you're grown and you're all one, you can do it on your own, you're scared. Because fear, false evidence appearing real, or your fear in your mindset, because fear is false, right? It's telling you, I can't do it for myself. And it's not easy, like transitioning from working a traditional job to transitioning to showing up for yourself and calling clients or creating content when nobody else is there. It's like, it's hard. It's like you start to say, oh, I'm just talking to myself, I'm just wasting my time. It becomes a whole battle, right? But the battle is yours. You get to choose your fights, right? So what I learned in the years of having my own business and then going back to working for somebody else, I learned that if I would just stay on the right highway, on the right path, the path of least resistance. Even when I don't see finances coming in, even when I don't see. So say hypothetically, I'm gonna use YouTube for example. With YouTube, I've been driving on this highway for 3 years, but I haven't been consistent, right? So because I haven't been consistent, my graphs go up and down. But my graphs had a big old gap in it, right? So it's kind of like somebody in the stock market, right? They gonna be have their times where they gonna come every day to the side. They might even have their computer set up on what it's called. It's called. Dang, I got it. Dang, what is that? I can't think. So in the stock market, I have a set alert, right? And when it's alert, your my phone gonna get alert and say that stock is down, right? And then I have a high peak of that stock is up, right? But over here on YouTube, I don't have that. So if I'm not consistent, then I just my numbers are just low, right? But if I'm consistent, they don't come down. They stay at a balance, right? So sometimes over the three years of me being here, I've taken months off and just worked my job and oh I don't feel like it or I'm tired. So I've been trying to find balance and what I realize right now is and I've known this and I think I've said it in previous videos, I get my best messages in the morning. I get my best messages and I give my best messages. And that's why a lot of clients like to talk to me early in the morning. So just know your blueprint and take control of it. Um so let's see, take control, stop stress, put yourself first. Find books to read. Find ancient books, right? Let's get on books. So, when you were in school, you had to read, let's say, a page a day, right? So, you had to read, you were forced to read as a child, and reading made you stronger. But somehow, in the midst of lifing and you growing up and working and parenting, all of the above, right? You stop reading, right? So somebody needs to go, or some, not just somebody, some people, a lot of individuals, right, need to go and purchase some books. Not just because books are becoming obsolete, but because it's time that you renew your brain. It's time, like reading meditations, right? So let's say reading meditation means, if you never heard of it, is you take a book, you open it to whatever page it opens to. You don't just go start from the beginning to the end, but you open a book and you find that page, you channel that page that you're supposed to read for that day. But when you look at reading, just look at it like, okay, once you open that page, you find a line that your eyes zone into and you read it. But you read the lines about 3 times. times, right? So if just say you read the lines 3 times in your reading meditation, you read that same line 3 times. Each time you read that line, you're going to get a different perspective, right? So you're never going to read that line in the same energy. So that means that you don't have the same energy. Everything gets a different energy. And the more you do it, the more you can make it make sense. The more you read it, now, after you read it 3 times, just say you write it, right? So you read it 3 times from a different perspective, and now you're writing it down. So as you're writing it down, your subconscious mind is putting a different picture with it, right? So you read it 3 times, you got a different picture, and then you wrote it, right? So just say you wrote it, like when we was in school, they used to make us write words 10 times. So when you wrote the word 10 times, you went through 0 to 1 through 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then the 0 and the 1 connected. You programmed. Come on now, spirit. You program that word in your mind, in your computer, right? I wish somebody was here to identify. But you program that word into your computer. The ones and the zeros. Boy, we just cracked the code. We just cracked the code. The 1% is the 1 and the 0. The yin and the yang. Because the percent sign is like yin and yang. Mm. Dang. All right. Let's see. Let's get a message card. I'm gonna have to get dressed so I can go and do some things outside of the house. I really need to write it down so I can make sure I know I need to go and look at a place for my daughter. So I will have to go and get the key and look at the place. I feel like, and this is what I see, next month I have 3 cards, and they're yin and yang, dark and light. So you have the light on both sides and the dark in the middle. Next month, for sure, you're going to find out some information that's like in your face type of thing, right? Because this is my card, and this is a card that I wrote, so I channeled this message. So next month, for sure, I'm going to have proof, I'm going to have receipts that something was in my face, right? For the good, I couldn't see it, right? But it was in my face, and I missed that part, right? But Spirit is going to show me next month, my ancestors, whatever you call, my God, my all of the above, all is the mind, the universe is mental, is going to show me, because I'm in verse right now, next month, for sure, I'm going to have a in your face type of moment. In my face, I'm going to see what it was that I did this month doing my Mayflowers, right? Because April, I got the rain, I cried, I went through that stage. Now I'm watering my flowers, and my flowers are about to bloom. So next month, it's going to be in my face of what I was doing in the blind, right? So I can have the confirmation for my blueprint of what I wrote down. Not nobody else telling me, girl, you crazy. Not no one else saying you can't do it, because yes, she can. So I really, in this energy, feel like it's time for women to know that it's your season. It's for a reason. Everything happened for a reason. And now it's about to be in your face of why you felt that way. Let me see. Yep. So my God within is going to give me confirmation. And I kept getting the message of 6 months, right? In 6 months. In 6 months, you're going to be like, wow. Challenge your perception. Challenge your perception. Challenge your perception. Change your perception. So change is a choice, and you get that daily. Perception is the angle that you look at it. Your perception, let's do this right quick. If you were to put perception with perspective, perception, change your perception. Hmm. You cannot challenge an outdated perception or one born from a lack of understanding. If you are unwilling to put aside your feelings and beliefs and embrace another's point of view, to do so makes you aware of the whole, the whole oneness, and stands you up on a high where I can't find my glasses, where you can see that both parties involved is a dispute, is a dispute, can act against an injustice. Oh no, sorry y'all. Both can be right, both can be wrong. So that goes back to the affirmation that I had of I am right and I am wrong. My because affirmation. Both can be right, both can be wrong, and and what one what one may perceive to be harmful may be seen as both healing and beneficial by the other. So my truths are my truths. And I can't think about anybody else's perspective of what I'm doing. Yeah. uh, I think I went into a trance. I got stuck. Yeah. But you can get yourself unstuck. So you're about to see something next month for sure that's been in your face, and it's almost like a lot of shit is like right now is like in your face kind type of thing because nobody believes in the unseen realm. Nobody else can see your vision the way you see your vision because they don't have your eyes, and your eyes are on your temple. So if it's not within your tunnel vision and you can't see it from somebody else's, like it could be just as invisible or taboo to them as you saying mermaids are real, right? It could be just as crazy, like they gonna be like, what? You mean to tell me that you was over there just talking, 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 waiting for people to come in the room to jump in your energy? You put yourself on the main line. Who you think you are, Jesus? You know. So other people crucified Jesus. Jesus didn't crucify himself. Other people's opinions and perspectives and perceptions of what was right and what was wrong. So once you begin to just be yourself, be your blueprint, be your guide, be your ancestors, be your answers, that's when you find your peace on earth, right? And we know scientifically they say this is not the same earth. So that's why you are able to see that, I don't want to be around this person. It doesn't take as long as it used to. Like it used to take us years to see people's true colors. Remember they had that song, I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors. That's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show true colors. Like in the old world, it used to take years to see someone's true colors, or it would have been to the same reference of they saying what? What's that thing they say in the Bible? Let those who have eyes see, and ears who have, and those who have ears hear. But then you're looking at them like, well, everybody got eyes, and we know some people are blind, like, but they're not talking about blind because even the blind have a way to connect, right? The blind have a way of communication, so they weren't talking about that. And deaf, you still have a way to get the messages, right? They do sign languages, so they weren't talking about that. So what were they talking about? What are you going to see that you don't see? What are you going to hear that you can't hear if you got all your senses, right? And then you got to even think if you have a disability, your senses are heightened in another area. So, yeah, that's crazy. So, we about to see like what's really going on, you know, now that we know that, there are people in other realms and high places and behind closed doors and curtains that are not for the benefit of your good. But you know what I like about it? Out of all the things that's in your face, it's like when jobs started to have cameras, right? When you started the whole movement of jobs having cameras, and they got that first camera in your job, and you just felt uncomfortable, right? because you knew that somebody was on the other side of that camera watching you that you couldn't see. And they everywhere. They on streets, they in your ATMs, like cameras are everywhere. There's no such thing as not being seen, right? So know your fears. Hear the ancient ones, right? So it was a situation where I was working at this job, and matter of fact, it's the last job I was working at. I was working at this job, and when I started there, I had found out that there was a fight a couple of weeks ago. I mean, a couple of weeks before I started. And when I heard about the fight, um, it didn't really resonate then. So as I've been working there, I noticed that there were cameras everywhere. And I noticed that the management in the company would, if there was a hot woman that came out, a nice looking female that came out, some of them would come out, right? They would just pop out of nowhere. But because I'm aware and I pay attention to everything, I'm like, oh, so they come out when there's a nice looking woman on the other side. So that's when somebody told me something. Yeah, there's cameras. You got to look. There's cameras everywhere. So it brought me back to the two girls fighting, and I said, okay, so on that camera, they were able to see the confrontations that was going on. They were able to see everything that this individual was doing to other people. But it didn't go any further than just seeing it, right? And then it got out of control. So before it got out of control, one, you saw it. It was in your face, right? Two, you probably went back and watched the fight on replay, recorded it, and it was entertainment to you, right? So when I started having problems with the employee, my first thing was, because I'm management. I'm gonna be management wherever I go, even if I don't have that title. I'm gonna manage my own time and space. So I noticed that when I went to the management and told them, look, I'm having problems with this lady, and my mouth began to say, y'all have cameras, you can see this, right? Oh, I'll handle it. And I'm like, so each time something would happen, my mind would immediately go to, but you're recording it. That's the world that we live in now. They record everything. Everything is being recorded. That's why it says, I take that statement to you're never alone. Right? So they say, okay, you got smart TVs. They come out with, okay, your smart TVs are recording you, or somebody can see you through your smart TV, right? And then, you're being, just say you sleep and your phone is quiet, and as soon as you wake up and start having motion, your phone starts to ding, 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 and then you're like, well, dang, was that dinging when I was asleep? So I came up with this thing where if I'm gonna be recorded, let me be the recorder. Let me be the person that's recording me to get gain off of me. Because it don't make sense for me to be clocking into somebody else's job and them just watching me like I'm content, right? And not only are you watching me like I'm content, when I come and tell you there's a problem and I know that you can see me on camera, you ain't trying to fix it. So I might as well just go home and cut on my own camera, like in your face type of thing. In your face type of thing. In your face, you being recorded, but you ain't recording yourself. Makes no sense. That don't even make sense. It don't make sense. You at the stop sign. The stop sign got a camera on you. You driving in your car on the highway. What is that? This thing now where they have what is it? your tags. Is it your tags or your driver's license? Like they can, every time it dings on the camera, it can tell you, it can tell them wherever you been, wherever you travel to. So it's almost like just everybody recording you and taking notes on you, besides you recording yourself and taking notes on yourself, like journaling and turning on your camera and recording you and having proof, like I was here at this time, because anybody could say you did something that, or were associated with something. No, have you some proof, have you some receipts, and be honest. You know what I'm saying? Be honest. I'm very much being honest that this is my journal, and that I am recording my journal, my journey, because I don't want nobody to tell my story better than I can tell my story, my side of the story, right? My perspective, my perspective, my perception of it. This is my story, right? And I feel lighter that I could tell my story. I really do. I feel a lot lighter that I'm recording my story, my journey. You know what I'm saying? So when I transition from this world, I don't need nobody to get up there and say, you know what? She was a good old person. She was just as good. Like they want to run up to the altar to tell how good you were, and you ain't seen them motherfuckers in years. Excuse my language, right? So, but if I record my own story and I tell y'all, look, I was over here by myself, taking notes, writing things down, turning on my own camera, so I didn't have to worry about nobody eye spying on me. Look, you heard it from the horse's mouth. I'm the horse and the carriage, right? So that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. I'm here for records. I'm here for receipts. I'm here to see for myself if I could go from rags to riches. I'm here to see for myself if me having my tools in my hand, in my house, in my space, right, is going to take my spaceship to the next level. I'm here. Hey, I got the Emperor card. I'm here to be the Emperor. Let's see. What the Emperor do? I'm going to have fun. I'm going to play. I'm going to be serious. But I'm going to find me some play in all this. I want to play with, I want to be just like them. I want to play with all the tools that I can play with. It's my dream. It's my dream to be my emperor. It's my dream to be my magician. It's my dream to be my hierarchy. It's my dream to be my book. Right? Because somebody else can write your story. Somebody gonna take, when I transition, somebody gonna take all these notes if they have that mindset. Take all these notes and journals and write a book about me. But one thing about it, I wrote the book. I spoke the book, right? Because even when you read the Bible, said beginning, it had to be spoken. The power of the tongue had to be used for dark to turn to the light. And then you had to tell somebody, right? And you had to write it down, and they just put books, verses, and chapters. You books, verses, and chapters. So, in this time of going to jobs and you being recorded for day game, baby, record your damn self. The Emperor. And I don't have no glasses. I can't find my glasses. Yeah. The Emperor is the mother. The Emperor is the father, masculine and feminine. He is a man of authority, but he is also full of wisdom. What do we have right here? Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. From the class in 2022. 2022, 222 was a very awakening time for some of us. And that's why it's wrote in different color. In living color. See, this is wrote in this one, and this one's wrote in the dark. So 2022, 2020, 2022, even numbers. Even numbers are women, right? I mean, even numbers are feminine numbers. Odd numbers are masculine numbers. He rules his head and not his heart. Okay, so it's a it's a hierarchy, right? Where it's a major arcana, but it's a higher, right? The crown is the higher, highest chakra. Woo-hoo. Okay. um, through rationality. So right here it says how your mind works. Two levels of your mind. One is the conscious, two is the rational level, right? Through rationality and instructive structure. I wish I knew where my glasses was. If he signifies ambition, he also calls for conformity. Lead the way. Okay, so he's the highest, he slash she, masculine and feminine, yin and yang, is the highest, the crown, right? Let me see. If you use the practical resources you process and plan carefully, you can achieve your goals. If you use your conscious and your rational levels together, subconscious, subconscious or rational levels, you think with your conscious mind. Let me see. Your conscious mind is the seat, driver of your emotions, and it's the creative mind. If you think good, good would follow. Okay, if the empress is the mother and the emperor is the father, he is a man of authority. I be thinking sometimes, like I'm a tomboy, right? Or I used to be a tomboy. I'm walking in my feminine right now. But I be thinking that that's why they always your masculine is your protector. So in the feminine, that's why you have to put on your full armor, right? That's why you have to put on your breastplates and your head shields, and you have to put on the full armor to protect yourself, because you don't even realize, especially when cutting on these cameras and stuff like that, if you don't come over here in the full protection, the full armor, then you gonna always be beat in your mindset, right? But when you put on that full armor, and you be like, you know what? Whatever comes my way, I'm if it's not meant for good, I'm gonna make it good. I'm gonna make it good when it don't look like what I want to make it look like. Well, no, when it don't look like I want it to look, I make it look like I want it to look. I make it look good. When somebody thinks that their intentions are for evil, which the evil spelled backwards means to live, I don't give it. I'm not giving the devil, which is a lower vibrational word, joy, right? Or I will give it joy. So, yeah, I like that. Let's see. So, circle energy. Within this book, I found another book. Oh, your right to be rich. Your right to be respect. Your right to be integrity. Your right to be character. Your right to be honor. Your right to be rich. Respect, integrity, character, and honor. Your character gonna make you show up and show out. Your respect for other people, the exchange, the the exchange of giving and receiving, right? Like if you don't give, you don't receive. I can remember times in my life where I was so in the energy of giving. If I saw a person on the street, I would make sure I made it my business to give them money, right? Because I felt like I was planting seeds. It's almost like, dirt. It's from the soil, from the soul. I would make sure I gave. If I went in somebody else's space, I would make sure that I had something in my hand to give. If it was just a like, if it was like with TikTok, it's hearts. I always go in there and if I can't give you coins, then I give you my heart, right? And my heart it's in the same balance of it's still an exchange, and that's what people's morals got to come in. You got to be rich in. If I don't have, anything that I can give that the person could see, smell, touch, or taste, right? And there is no such thing as not being able to give. I mean, if I could see it, like three hearts, three likes in my life is very, very important, right? That means I touched three people's lives that they have enough respect, integrity, character, and honor to leave something, to plant a seed, to let me know, you're in the right place, sweetie, and I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Appreciation, engagement, appreciation, engagement. Those are key words. They are key components to how to get to the next level, showing somebody that you matter. Every one person matters. So when I get off this, okay, let me tell you about this. Even though I know that lives are stroll type of things, so just think when you get off a live, for anybody that goes live, you get off a live and you see how many people tapped into your energy, right? Because, okay, so tapping into the energy. So just say somebody is trying to clear their crown, they're going to tap the top of their head, right? If they're trying to clear their triangle, their temple, right? The third eye, which is invisible, their two physical eyes, which are the spiritual and physical connecting, right? That's the triangle, right? When you're tapping it, right? Then you have people that do the tapping, okay, they need to calm down, right? They need to calm down, so they tapping all around, tapping the temples, right? That means something. So I'm tapping myself physically, right? So when I go into the energy of a tapping space, it's an energy exchange. Hi. Can you say happy birthday, Zua? Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Zua. What does Zua mean? I'm gonna write that down so I can see what that means. What that name meaning is. You know, you can every name you can actually see what it breaks down to. I gotta put this back. So read ancient books. Most High is you. Your true love is you. You are your soulmate. Oh, I like that affirmation. I am my soulmate. Oh, so I took this class 11023. All things. All things. Wow. I like going back looking at notes. Star, also known as the dog star. Dorothy. Dorothy. Door. Strawman. Oz. Operator system. Program. Wizard. Wind. Vortex. Window. Oh, let me tell you something. So the other day, I was about to do my very first live on TikTok. And it was the 555 portal. 559, right? And the closer, and I had set my live for 3 o'clock. And the closest I got to 3 o'clock is when that vortex storm came through. It got dark, and it was like the wind was. I mean, when I say the wind was, it was loud, and it was almost like a. It was almost like a tornado, but it was a vortex, and it was a portal. So I knew it was a portal. Let me tell you something. I think I did 4 lives that day. I did 3 on TikTok, and I did um, 1 on YouTube. When I say the energy was wild, because when I woke up, what's today? So the vortex would have been Monday. What day was the vortex? What day? 5-5. What's today? 7. So Monday. When I woke up on Tuesday, I had a headache from hell, and I normally don't wake up with a headache, but on the day of the vortex, I could barely eat, and I did not know what it was. But like I said, I feel like I feel and I know, because we not in the time of I believe anymore. We know now that these days, and it was crazy because that's the same day that they started the Diddy trial. That's the same day that they had the Met Gala. So I was in the energy of, if the elite know what days to have things on, like all your holidays are on a certain date and a certain energy for a reason, and they know it, and that's why they call it occult knowledge, right? Hidden knowledge. So now, if they doing something special for themselves, they using the days, the elements to raise their analytics, their algorithm, then guess what? That's the message. You better do it too. You better know that everything happens for a reason, they say. And that's why on these days, every day is a holiday. Every day a holiday. Every day that you get to rise up in this realm and nobody not have rest in peace or sleep in peace attached to you, it's a holiday. It's a birthday. It's an earth day. And you can see, with reading, right? The main thing they teach you about reading in your vowels is your vowels are interchangeable, right? So the meaning that when you shift and you start to say, okay, the vowels are low. The vowels are low. Why are the vowels low? Low, and why are they interchangeable? It's because they tell you in the vowels A, E, I, O, U. Sometimes Y, right? So that if you break it down, it's A. Ye is in the Bible, right? You, A, I owe you. And sometimes Y. It's always been in your face, right? It's always been in your face. And in the next month, the next 30 days, you're going to see for sure, you're going to be able to make it make sense. Your cups about to be full, baby. Your cups about to be overflow. Your cup's going to be overflow. Why? Because you ain't no longer the fool. It said, what did the book say? God look out for fools and babies. Fool is the zero. It's the you. Fool is the you. You're the fool. You're the fool if you don't realize that zero come before one. You're the fool if you don't realize that circle has more meaning. You the circle. And all the other shapes fit inside the circle. Come on, yo. It's magical. So, it's magical. I mean, I don't know. It's like right in your face. It's like in your face. It's like a core value that you realize right now, such a time as this. We living in the now, in this new world, on this new earth, on this new circle, this new cycle, and you gotta put you first. I gotta go get out and pay my bill, right? So wake up. What they say? Wake up, everybody. There's no sleeping in here. Meditate and contemplate. How can you put words and shapes and colors, all the tools together? Prosperity lies ahead, and work through your fears. So I asked the question, how can you? How can you put all your tools together? Work through your fears, with it being first. Woo! Okay. Work through your fears was on the bottom. So if you work through your fears, prosperity lies ahead. Oh, okay. I was reading it backwards. Me. If I work through my fears, my prosperity is ahead. Right? And I'm turning on my camera so it could be in my face. I'm turning on my camera so it could be in my face. And these two jumped out. A time to give rather than take. I'm giving. A time for healing. So it's giving me a learn while you earn. I found that in network marketing. It's like learn while you earn, and your health is your wealth. And how do you earn while you learn? Communication. Communication. Communication with self, because remind you, I'm over here talking to myself. Right? I'm over here on my camera, right? At my job. All of it's work. Some people don't want to do the work. Right? But the more I do the work, the easier it get for me. Your hard work is paying off. Like, you can't make this up. It's paying off. It was hard. It was harder when I first started. Just coming here and talk to myself. What you mean? You mean to tell me that I'm coming over here cutting on the camera talking to myself when they is putting people in institutions for talking to themselves? I'm just going to put my staff in the ground. Dang. I'm going to be my knight and my king of wands. I'm going to be my masculine and my feminine. Because a knight is interchangeable, right? A knight don't have to be masculine. Yep. Let's see. Let's get a word for today. I got some sticky notes over here. Because like I said, I'm just over here just playing with my toys. These are my toys. My tools are my toys. Ancestors telling you to protect your magic, your heart, your body. Your energy is unsteady. Breathe, ground. Grounding keeps you present. Say out loud, I am here. My little sticky notes. Grounding. Worthiness. Worthiness is you're a warrior. Be fierce. Stop hiding, shrinking, and playing small. Life doesn't need to be perfect. You matter. Accept yourself now. We living in a now. You gotta know. Now and know are as one. I am deserving and worthy. I matter. Good affirmation. I am here and I matter. The parts of you and others dislike are worth living too. The parts of you that others dislike are worth living too. Truth. Be bold, outspoken, get real with your truth. Telling truth matters. Being able to hear the truth. The truth is my friend. That's a good affirmation. The truth is my friend. I am the truth and the light. What scripture was that? In your face. It's right there in your face. What you gonna do with it? Ain't you tired of people playing in your face? But it ain't even really that people played in our face. Is we didn't go and do the research. Like, be a researcher. I'm a researcher. Somebody's telling me I can't do nothing. I don't think right now in my life I'm doing anything traditional. I think I let tradition go out the door. Because if I go by just one tradition, then I'm in a box. I don't want to be a box. I'm outside. Just think. You outside. Okay, if we in a planet, right? If we on a, just say we on a spaceship. We on a ship, right? Oh. Oh. We on a spaceship, right? Oh, I say, not even say a spaceship, because some people can't, their minds can't go that, their vision can't go that far. We in a video game, and remember when video games came out, um they were different back then. Hell nah. Hold on. 10. Hell no, what? Thanks for your engagement. Oh, that's the thing I had. I wrote that down too. There's no such thing as bad engagement, y'all. I used to think when people come and put things in your chat, and I used to be like, what the? I used to be so confused. And then I started to realize, like, because I was hearing people call engagers like trolls and what were they calling them? They were calling them trolls. They were calling them, dang, what's the other thing they were calling them? But then I started thinking like, yo, they helping your algorithm. They your friends. It's like somebody saying enemies. Like enemies, you can learn something. And why did you name them an enemy? Right? You your only enemy. Because anything else you can remove yourself from. You can what they call it, rebuke it. You can return the sender. But somebody coming in your space is like, everybody don't come in and say hi the same way. Everybody got a different voice, right? Everybody got a different fingerprint. So when somebody come in your chat and they put something that you don't understand, baby, just be glad that they put something there. They left a mark, because when you get off, it's gonna say, I think it says engagers. Does it say engagers? So don't worry about the people that come in when you live. And this is for me because I'm talking to me, right? Don't worry about when people come in your live and don't put anything. I mean, don't worry about the people that put things. Worry about the people that come in and don't have an exchange of energy. And that's why those last shall be first is even a thing, right? Because those last shall be first is they didn't understand, understand, and overstand the transmutation of of energy. And as soon as I said that, I got these two cards. Core values. Don't get upset because they don't have core values, right? They haven't been taught. Maybe that's a class that I need to, maybe not a class, but a live that I need to have about core values and why your yes matters. Tell your yes to have core values, or tell your core values to say yes, right? Because when two or more come together, like, it's real. Say yes to your knowledge. Say yes to your wisdom. Say yes to your understanding, overstanding, and understanding, right? Because some people, have you noticed, try to take your phone and program understanding or overstanding. They don't come up. You got to program them. Indeed, I'm telling the truth. You got to program it. It's like your phone don't even pick it up because those are not um uh those are not keywords until you program them into your computer, right? That's not a word that everybody's going around here saying, right? But even in knowledge, you can find a few words. You can, okay, knowledge, but as individual words, you can find now, you can find ledge, you can find no, wisdom, you can find wise, you can find dumb. You could just take words and just look at them and see if they are, how many words can you get out of it, right? It's like why I got out of Christianity is because I it had antichrist in it. And how do you teach about Christ if your namesake says antichrist? Ancestors, answers. Yeah, some things you just gotta let go. You know, you just gotta go with the flow. Flow is so much better than force. You know, I don't want to force it. I want to make it easy and effortlessly. How do I get there? I have to make it make sense. I have to know what my peak, what, right? The bird's the bird's eye is not even the highest part of the bird. It's the peak because the bird is flying and the peak is out. But so when I see things in the comment now, I take a different approach with it. I think of it as engagement, and I'm thankful for the engagement because so many people stop because they don't see the numbers, right? But I think in 3 to 6 months, it's gonna all make sense with that vortex that we just left on Monday. I can see a difference right now. So that's why I'm taking a chance to just say, I can't give all my time to TikTok. I got to come back over here where YouTube is at, where I started out with, and my slower pace. Because when I say, I was like, how in the world did I get, where's that box at? How did I get 100 and something subscribers, not subscribers, followers, but I can't get subscribers, right? But that's because people are used to following, right? You think your followers matter, right? In some worlds, like it's worlds upon worlds. Every app is a world, a different frequency. Bam, booyah. It is. So you like, okay, don't get discouraged because the one thing about it is it all started with the zero. It all started. It all started with you, wholeness. It all started with you seeking. It all started with you knowing. I know that I'm going on these jobs and they recording me. Why come I ain't recording myself? They making money while you there and they got content. Yep, you over there working your ass off. And their job is to watch you on the camera. Bust your ass. But you ain't gonna take a few minutes to record yourself. It's my reward that I record myself busting my ass for myself. get a boost, if I'm gonna get a boost, I'm gonna get a bonus. This is my boost and my bonus. I'm gonna boost myself up. I'm gonna give myself a bonus. They said some jobs ain't even giving people bonuses. Somebody said, "Oh, I didn't get my bonus. Thank you for the 5 likes." And you know what I said? When they told me they didn't get their bonus, I said, "Yeah, I heard about that months ago. I heard jobs weren't giving out bonuses. I heard that, and I really did hear it. But I was able to regurgitate it to them. Yeah, you ain't got your bonus because, baby, it's a lot going on that you don't even see, that you don't even know. Because where your mindset at is, what is it? Where your mind goes, the money gonna follow. I don't know, something like that. I thought I heard something like that. It's like, this is not a politics channel. It's not a religious channel. Like, of course, I can go get the Bible. Oh, I got some notes for what I got. I got some verses from Psalms. Yeah, I promise y'all look, I gonna be playing. I got the little TikTok affiliate notes wrote down, little codes. I'm a coder. I'm a decoder. Baby, I'm gonna crack me a code. I ain't got no judgment. I got discernment. What's this? Affirmation. I am allowed to change as much as I need. There's a dump truck out there. There's somebody getting some soil. Temperance. I'm patient. I'm a hermit. I just found another way. That's why I feel like I'm not in the. I'm an empress. Thank you. That's why I know that I'm trying to build for myself, because I'm getting some soil or something. Because I just want to do something. I want to be in my own space and radiate light, and not have anybody just come outside of me and try to take it away. It's really the thought of having control. Oh, what are they doing? Trying to level out their ground? Level out their yard? I see them keep dumping dirt. But yeah. It's beautiful to see seasons change, right? So I literally had to go, I had to die to my old self, my ego itself, my control self of not even controlling myself, but other people having control. I had to work on taking my power back from other people, places, and things that I had left it, dropped it off unaware that I had even just been given away so much energy to people, places, and things that wasn't for the benefit of my good. Just think if I could go back and get all the hours worth of money that I gave jobs for accepting jobs that said, "Oh, well, this is all we get to pay." Let's say run that, return that to sender. This all you get to pay. This all the years of experience. But what if we took all the experience we had from every single job and training, which they don't give trainings at jobs no more. You pretty much go to a job now, in 30 minutes you're going to be by your damn self. They're going to tell you the basic instructions before. Oh my God, it just made me think about when you break down, when they were saying about the Bible, the basic instructions before leaving Earth. motherfuckers can't even get past the basic. If you can't get past the basic instructions, how the world you gonna get to respect and integrity and character and honor to be rich? How that's supposed to work? If you can't die to the thought of somebody telling you that you weren't good enough when you were 5, the hell you mean I ain't? They were calling you stupid. Boy, you stupid. You little naughty head bastard. All the little stuff that they used to say that you holding on to. Oh, she's got a learning disability, right? Not even understand. You really back then had so much stuff on your mind that you had to go and teach yourself. You know, you get out of school because you can't even fathom when you go home. You ain't got no food. Some of the people that parents was on different substances. They didn't know what they, whether they gonna go home and have lights and water, basic necessities on this planet. So, yep. As co-creators, we got to start creating. That's all I'm here to create. I'm here to leave my blueprint. You know, I don't mean to tell you. I clearly come up here and tell you that, this is my channel and I'm just sharing myself. And I'm thankful for that. I died to the old ways of not showing up for myself. You know, I'm learning to find balance and showing up to all my jobs, right? All your platforms are your jobs. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for balance for that. I'm looking for balance of how to deliver the messages, how to, you know, I don't want to come up here with negative energy. So, but I'm telling you up front, I'm working on the death of my old ego and the rebirth of my new life, you know? So that's wonderful. That is wonderful. This is a no judgment zone. Clearly, if it says all, and I can't expect anybody to just jump in from zero spiritual knowledge or spiritual awakening, you know, but you all got to start somewhere. And if you know that you're going through awakening, and now is the time that we know, you got to start writing it down, making it clear, writing the date, the time on your paper, right? Because I could see in 3 to 6 months, some of us going to have 100 on our paper. You're going to have a red 100 on your paper to show you that you passed. Some of you need to see that, the unseen realm is real. Some of you need to know when you start asking the ancestors for answers, your conscious mind your subconscious is going to get the picture. Asking it is given. Oh my goodness. And then it's like you're going to wake up one day and it's going to be like, I'm so glad I made it moment. And you're going to hear the music. You can hear the songs from where you were then, mentally, to where you are now. It's like bridging the gap across the water, the gap. From when you wake up, when your awakening starts, Because you always going through awakening. You always going to be going through awakening, right? But you just keep bridging those gaps. You keep building that bridge. You are the bridge to your next level. You are the bridge. You are the water. You are the matter. So you are the words. What they say, the word was God and God was the word is God, you know? And anything you put God in is in good for the good of all. Yeah. All right. I've been out here for 2 hours. I'm so thankful. I can go start my day. 2 hours worth of work, baby. Let me tell you, work don't even feel like work no more. Oh my God. Y'all, YouTube is the best. And then TikToks. Try to work both of them. Thank you. Have a blessed day. Deuces. Damn, I better